Yeah, I saw the ticket prices. I guess the only thing is, I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center. I thought that would have been really good for the game and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago. So maybe there's a conflict of some sort that I don't know about. Obviously, that's a little above my pay.
The Chicago Sky just made a big move by choosing a bigger place to play, all because Caitlin Clark fills up the stands. But hold up, Angel Reese actually thinks the crowd is there for her. Someone needs to remind her what's really going on because this is pretty funny. Let's get this clear. The Chicago Sky, the same team that can barely fill a 10,000-seat arena, suddenly wants a 20,000-seat stadium. Why? Because Caitlin Clark is coming. But, of course, Angel Reese fans are pretending this is all about her. Let's be honest. If it were about Angel Reese, the Sky would still be playing in front of empty seats at Wintrust Arena.
Chicago Sky have announced that they are moving arenas for Indiana's home game. Well, Indiana's road game, but Chicago's home game. This is the motion that the Indiana Fever /
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in women's basketball right now. She's the one making ticket prices go through the roof. People are paying NBA-level prices just to watch her play. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's fans are acting like she's the one filling up arenas. Here's the truth. The only time Reese has a full crowd is when Caitlin Clark is on the other team. The Sky didn't get more popular because of Angel Reese. They just got lucky that they're scheduled to play against Clark.
Caitlin Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to town. But in this case, it is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue. The Fever's games against the Chicago Sky in Chicago, it was announced 2 of them, will be moving to the United Center. So that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The games on...
The Chicago Sky has never been a must-watch team, not even when they won a championship. The city barely noticed. But now that Caitlin Clark is coming, they're rushing to make room for all the fans. Not Sky fans, Caitlin Clark fans. Just like Michael Jordan made people watch the Bulls, Clark is making people pay attention to the WNBA. Do you really think the Chicago front office woke up and thought, wow, Angel Reese is such a big deal, we need more seats? Come on, Reese fans need to stop embarrassing themselves.
Move popular teams' games such as Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever to the United Center. They are moving teams such as Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever games to much larger venues. So this is an article by Sports Illustrated titled Fever Sky 2025 Matchups Move to Larger Chicago Venue to Hold Over 20,000 Fans. After the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky matchups became some of the most watched WNBA games ever last season, partially due to the stardom of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the Sky decided to move the 2025 matchups to the United Center instead of their home at Wintrust Arena. Clark pushed for the games to be moved to the United Center after a matchup last year, and now that wish has come true.
Let's talk numbers. Indiana Fever games are selling out everywhere. Ticket prices are sky high. Caitlin Clark is filling arenas like she's Taylor Swift on tour. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's biggest moment is getting outplayed by Caitlin Clark in college, and now she's riding that fame into the WNBA. Reese fans talk a big game, but where's the proof? Show us the sold-out Angel Reese games. Oh, wait, they don't exist. Let's be honest about the Chicago Sky. The only time they get attention is when Caitlin Clark steps onto their court. That's why they're moving to a bigger stadium. Not because of Reese, not because of the Sky, but because of Caitlin Clark. The Sky's front office saw those ticket sales and said, we need more space. But credit to Angel Reese fans, they really stick to their delusion. They're out here saying Reese is the reason the WNBA is growing. They act like she's the next big star. But the truth is, she's just another player in Clark's highlight reel. If Reese was such a big deal, why didn't Chicago expand their stadium before? Why weren't they selling out games last year? Why did it take Caitlin Clark coming to town for them to make this change? Let's talk about what happens on the court. Caitlin Clark is changing the game. She's a highlight reel, breaking records, helping her teammates, and making the Fever a team everyone wants to watch. Angel Reese? She's just padding her rebound stats and talking trash like she's accomplished something. The difference is, when Clark talks, she backs it up. When Reese talks, she ends up as a meme. The truth is, the Sky and their fans should be thanking Caitlin Clark. She just gave them their biggest payday in years. Without her, this stadium expansion never happens. Without her, no one would be talking about Chicago Sky basketball. They'd just be another struggling team hoping for attention. But now, they get to pretend they matter because Caitlin Clark is coming to town. So let Reese fans keep shouting about their fake Angel Reese effect. Meanwhile, the rest of us will be watching Caitlin Clark actually change the game. Because let's face it, if it wasn't for Clark, the only thing the Chicago Sky would be growing is their list of excuses for why no one shows up to their games. But this isn't just about Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, it's a bigger pattern. Remember the Mystics? Their owner had the nerve to publicly call out Caitlin Clark, acting like she was just another player. But what did they do? They quietly moved their games to a bigger stadium because of Caitlin Clark. The same people saying she's overhyped are the ones cashing in on her name. It's almost like they don't want to admit the Caitlin Clark effect is real, but their bank accounts say otherwise. The Mystics went from acting like Caitlin didn't matter to upgrading their venue just to fit all the fans who want to see her. Imagine being that shameless. It's like hating on Beyoncé but blasting her music when your rent is due. They could have at least pretended to be consistent. But nope, the hypocrisy was too much. And what about the media? One minute they're saying Caitlin gets too much attention, and the next, they're covering every game she plays because, let's face it, she's the only reason anyone's tuning in. Caitlin Clark is breaking records, exceeding expectations, and selling out arenas faster than a Taylor Swift concert. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still trying to get people to spend $100 on a ticket. The Indiana Fever's first game with Clark sold out in less than an hour. Now, tickets are going for over $700. Over in Chicago, Reese's team is practically giving away tickets like a big sale at Walmart, and still, nobody's buying. Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA and made it a must-watch event. People are rushing to get seats, resellers are charging crazy prices just to get in, and the whole state of Indiana is buzzing. The Chicago Sky? They couldn't even give away tickets to fill those empty seats. Seriously, you could probably get a courtside seat, a free meal, and an autographed ball from Angel Reese for the price of a fast food combo. The hype is real. Caitlin Clark isn't just bringing fans. She's bringing celebrities, sponsors, and huge attention. Indiana Fever's social media is exploding, jersey sales are soaring, and every game she plays is a huge event. Meanwhile, Angel Reese and the Sky are still begging people to show up like a sad high school prom committee that thought they were way more popular than they really are. There are levels to this. Caitlin Clark makes history every time she steps on the court. Angel Reese makes excuses. Clark's first WNBA game had thousands of fans going crazy, waiting just to see her take a warm-up shot. Reese is out here trying to convince people that real basketball fans would love her if they just gave her a chance. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark is what they call box office. She's got the skills, the personality, and the whole basketball world watching her. Caitlin Clark's arrival turned the WNBA into something everyone wants. Tickets are selling out faster than Chicago Sky fans disappear after a losing streak. Meanwhile, the Sky is practically giving away tickets, and people still aren't showing up. Caitlin Clark is playing in packed arenas with thousands of fans cheering for her. Angel Reese is playing in front of confused Chicago tourists who thought they were walking into a comedy show. The proof is in the ticket sales, the jersey numbers, and the simple fact that the WNBA is finally thriving because of one person, and it's not Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark stepped in and turned the league into must-see TV. Angel Reese stepped in and turned her team into an afterthought. The numbers don't lie. One player is taking the game to new heights, and the other is just making noise. At this point, the jealousy isn't even hiding. It's not Caitlin's fault she's filling up arenas while others can barely get their own family to show up. It's not her fault she's breaking records while others can't even hit double digits in scoring. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and no amount of jealousy from Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky, or the Mystics owner can change that. They can keep pretending she's not the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA, but their actions say the opposite. Just admit it. Caitlin Clark runs this league, and everyone else is just tagging along. Let's be real. Nobody's showing up to watch Angel Reese miss layups and throw up bricks. They're here for Caitlin Clark, the queen of long-range shooting, the player who makes defenders second-guess their whole career. Chicago fans might buy tickets, but once they get inside and hear nothing but loud MVP chants for Caitlin, they'll quickly realize they made a mistake. They could have just stayed home and watched the disaster on TV instead of seeing it in person. Now let's talk about Angel Reese for a moment, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie who loves talking but doesn't back it up on the court. Last time she faced Caitlin, it was the same story. Huffing, puffing, fouling, and getting outplayed. What's her excuse this time? Bad lighting? A wonky rim? Chicago's water pressure? Whatever it is, it won't matter, because Caitlin Clark is coming in strong and ready to dominate. The funniest part is that the Chicago Sky actually think they have a home court advantage. The team's PR department is probably scrambling, trying to figure out how to get at least 10 people in the crowd to cheer for them. Maybe they'll hand out free Angel Reese posters at the door, only for fans to flip them over and write, "We love Caitlin" on the back. The Sky could be ahead by 10, but it'll still feel like they're losing by 20 because the whole arena is going to explode every time Caitlin hits a three. Caitlin Clark is about to take over Chicago, not just the arena, but the whole city. She's going to turn that place into her personal fan club, and Angel Reese will have a front row seat to the embarrassment. The Sky should just accept it and start selling Fever merch in their store. At least they might make some money.